like to tell you all a story today that changed the way I think about working in international development. In 2015, for the first time, I climbed a mountain. But I didn't climb it alone. I climbed it with my friend, Andrew. Now, Andrew might not be the kind of friend that you're picturing right now. So Andrew is about 70 years old. His puffy red jacket and white beard make him look a little bit like Santa Claus. There's something else about Andrew. He was one of the first people to be diagnosed with a rare condition where physical activity can cause extreme, even debilitating cramping of the muscles, which in extreme cases can even lead to kidney failure. So how do we get to the top of the mountain? In order to understand this, let's come back to the bank for a minute. A few months ago, the director of the MIT Media Lab, Joy Ito, was here talking about the principles for surviving our faster future. And one of the principles that he described was compasses and not maps. Compasses and not maps. What does that mean? And I know if you were in the data analytics workshop this morning, or if you're a geospatial analyst, you really want an explanation right now. But it's not that, we don't have to take it so literally. So actually, if we think about the way that we use these tools, the meaning of this compasses not maps starts to make sense. So when you use a map, you look down. You expect to be able to draw an exact step-by-step path from point A to point B, so that all you have to do to reach your destination is follow the turns. But there's a catch. Many times, our maps are inaccurate or incomplete. Or maybe a map that was once correct, today no longer is. Because the world changes. And we can change the world, but not by following a map. On the other hand, with a compass, you look out at the world around you. You have to find signals and references that will guide you to create a new path to the destination that you have in mind. When Andrew was a child, he was given a map. His doctor told him, "You've got bad legs. You won't be able to play with other kids, run around, or climb mountains." And for Andrew, that was really devastating to hear, because he lives in an area where climbing mountains is a regular, everyday activity, popular activity among everyone. So this is really devastating for him to hear. But Andrew threw away his map and instead decided to build a compass. He was going to climb a mountain. Now remember, the typical mountain path that might take someone 3 or 4 hours, for Andrew would probably take 8 or 9 hours. This could be a really dangerous climb. But he didn't do it alone. So Andrew sought out the references and the guides that would allow him to build his path to the top of the mountain, step by step. He sought out people who could share an understanding of his obstacles and his challenges, people with conditions similar to his. He sought out people with new perspectives, new research, that could start to fill in the gaps about how his condition actually worked. And he also sought out family and friends who could share his vision that reaching the top was possible. Andrew has climbed 188 mountains. And every year, he teaches people like me to climb their first one as well. Now in life, there are other mountains, and they're not always made of rocks. As development professionals, we're familiar with some of these challenges, like climate change, economic instability, or social inequality, that create terrible dilemmas for people in our region year after year. And as these development professionals, we're charged with finding solutions. But we won't be able to deliver those solutions by following or building a map. And much less if we try making those maps within our sectors or silos, looking down at our limited perspectives. Instead, we have to build a compass. We have to connect with each other, reaching out across disciplines, across sectors, and also with government and civil society to find this new path for our world today. And that is how we'll reach the top together. Thank you.